It says live.
It says live. Are we there? Webinar is now live on Facebook. Welcome, Midwest Elevation. We are here with another Tuesday conversation to raise the collective consciousness. I am your host, Renee Zukin, and I am so pleased to be back here once again having this conversation. If you are out there today, let us know. I'll keep track here on this handy dandy phone. It's a thing. Let me make sure we are there. Yes, we are. Okay, beautiful. So let us know you are here today. I am going to introduce you to my guest. Let me get the right screen up. No, look, we're sharing ourselves. There we are. Well, I hope everybody's having a fantastic Tuesday. Here in the Midwest, it's a little gray and rainy, but sometimes you need that vibe, right? It's always a cycle. We are here today with Thuy Melissa Dao, and we are going to be talking about unleashing your soul song, talking all things music and mystical, and I'm so excited for this. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Thuy is a music alchemist and a soul purpose coach. She supports musicians and music lovers to tune into the song of their soul's purpose and use it as a transformational tool to heal themselves and the world. Right? And that's what we talk about here in our conversations to raise the collective conscious, is doing that inner work to see the outer change. Right? Deeply connected. After graduating in 2009 from the University of Iowa, right here in Iowa City, with the piano performance and pedagogy master's degree, Thuy continued her education in music therapy and coaching in an effort to grasp the potentials and limitations of music in the process of personal and global transformation. Thuy is a founder of the United Minds Vietnam nonprofit organization, which inspires and trains young teenage leaders to contribute their skills to the community in a meaningful way. Such beautiful work. Through the Mindlight Project, the young leaders have been bringing the gift of music to visually impaired children every year for the past 8 years. Wonderful, wonderful work. So excited to have you here, Thuy. Welcome to Midwest Elevation, your home away from home, so to speak.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here with you. It is really, Midwest is my second, or I could say third home, as I'm originally from Vietnam and I'm living in Poland. And the third place that I live the longest is Iowa.
That's so funny. Yes, your third home. I love it. Well, we will, this is home for you always. I'm so glad to be here with you. And I definitely, I feel that connection with you being here through the university and knowing, like, even knowing the music buildings, of course. I'm like, wait, I know where you were and where you studied.
Yeah. And I actually was in this old music building, because later they changed, but it was before the flood. So
that's right.
This,
that's right. Yep. Yeah. I've only been in the new music building like twice. It's, it doesn't have the same feel, but it's certainly beautiful.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. Yes. Well, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. And if we do have, if you're here joining us, yes, say hello. Let me turn my volume down. Oh, beautiful. We do have a lot of music lovers joining us today. Some musicians near and far. So I'm excited to see. So certainly, if you have questions for us while we're talking, let us know in the comments. But so Thuy, tell me, right? Because you have both the performance aspect of music, but also the therapy and the coaching and the healing aspect of music. So just tell me a little bit about how you came to kind of work with both.
So let me start. Like, I started music when the first piano lesson I had, I was 6 in Vietnam. My mom brought me there, but I had about 2-3 lessons, and then we moved to Russia, where I lived for 4 years. And in Russia, I had a few piano lessons, but then we moved to Poland. So again, it stopped. So really, I really started getting into music when I was 11. Actually, not 11. I was like 12, 13 years old.
Mm.
And everyone said that I was too old,
Yeah.
you know, like in Europe, like everyone starts when they are 6 or 7. If you're
Right.
like older, they're like, oh no, you are too old to do that. You can go and, you know, like play la 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 la, but there's nothing gonna come out of you.
It's true.
But I enjoyed it in the way that I felt right away with music a certain connection that I've never felt with language.
Mm.
So even though I was told I was too old, usually after a teacher gets to know me a little bit, they see that I have a special connection, like something speaking through me that I can also sense nowhere else. So that has always been my connection to music, that deeper sense of presence and feeling the spirit inner.
Mm.
So yeah, so music has never been for me about just performing or something, but it has always, from my experience, was connection with something deeper from the beginning of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
That's
how
so
later,
strongly. Yeah.
yeah. So later when I got into performance, at some point I just felt like, no, I don't really want to go and just perform music. That's not something that I want to do. I want to understand what it is and kind of be able to bring this deeper message of music in a different way. I just felt like performing wasn't my path. So I switched into music therapy. That's how I came to Iowa, because I started in Ohio at the Cleveland Conservatory of Music,
Oh,
Cleveland
wow.
Institute of Music. But after a year, because there everyone was so performance oriented, you know, there was practice room and like lines of tens of people all the time to these practice rooms.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I told my teacher after half year, like, I don't think this is for me. I'm not enjoying this time here. And he introduced me to his friend who was the head of piano department in Iowa, who was coming to Cleveland just just to visit him and play a concert. It's like, oh yeah, like in Iowa, there's a music therapy program. You want to go? And if he likes you, he will take you there and give you money to go there.
Oh,
So I
perfect.
was like, great. So it's like, yeah, you can have a lesson with him when he comes. So here comes his friend, and I have a lesson with him, and then he just offered me a scholarship next year. I can go to Iowa.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
So that's how I got into Iowa, into the music therapy program, actually, in Iowa.
Uh-huh.
But after 2 years, I felt like, no, this music therapy is not for me either.
I have a sense that we're a little kindred spirits, that we have,
Really?
you know, there isn't just one clear path. There.
Exactly. I mean, you know, like there's a sense that no music performance, no music, the way it's given, it's taught, it's not exactly the right path, you know. And so I was like trying to find this right path, like, and I couldn't fit into any of this field. But then after studying music therapy for 2 years, I was just like, no, I will get my degree here in piano performance because it's more aligned with this music and music therapy. There it felt to me that it was not an approach that was aligned with me.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I was done with music performance degree, I just like, okay, but still there's this music, and I still did not find this path. Like that, I could feel in my heart, in my soul, that there was something about it.
Yeah.
And there gotta be something. So I started searching, you know, coaching. I went to Germany to study another way of looking at music therapy and another approach to it. And then I decided, after doing some study, that I will be a music alchemist, not a music therapist.
I love it. I love it. You're making magic.
And no one is gonna tell me how it has to be done, you know, because if you take a title that's there, it's like 10,000 of ways that people say it should be done like this. Music alchemist, no one tells me what I can do and what I cannot do, right?
Right. Oh, I love that sense of freedom and rebellion that you have here. It's like, but so necessary, right? Because you know what I feel and what I hear you saying is, as you tap into the connection to create that creative
Mhm.
energy for the music that you perform or produce, whether you know, creating your own music or playing somebody else's, right? There's an interpretation there that's full of that creative energy. Um, and so there isn't one size fits all.
There is not, yes. And yeah, and I mean, the way when I work with client, I mean, it's usually the same issue, right? Like the path that is there is not fitting. So what do I do, right? So this, I think, like the path that I've had with looking for the way to define what's mine and how to name it, how to put it, you know, what story to tell about it, what story am I telling through my life, what the way I see my life. And then I can really empathize with the clients who come and who also are looking for not imitation, but creation.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. What a good distinction too, right? The imitation versus creation. So with alchemy, right? I mean, the term alchemy, you're really creating.
Mm-hmm.
I just I just love that you landed on that. Where like where has it taken you once you decided, right? Once you
Mm-hmm.
figured out that this was
Mm-hmm.
your way.
Mm-hmm.
Um I'm so curious about that journey, that piece of the journey, you know, what opened up for you as far as you know, because you have this deep sense of wanting to help
Mm-hmm.
others and help others through healing. And so I'm just curious how that, you know, from your view and how that next piece of the journey went
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Yeah, so like alchemy itself for me, no, I mean the word alchemy, it has to do with the dark, right? How to turn something that's dark into light, some lead into gold. So it has to do a lot with embracing the pain, embracing the darkness, and and transforming it into beauty and light and harmony. So that's what the alchemy conveys here through using music. But I'm also broadening the understanding of music. Music for me is not only the sound. I can't really play now. It's like middle of the night here in Poland. But music is not only this, like the music that you hear. For me, music is the vibration of the soul itself.
Oh my
And
God, just got the chills.
yeah, and the music that we hear is in a way is like a very not idea or representation of this, you know, of this inner music. Even though it's beautiful, right? And it
Right.
can be very helpful. And guess what I found is that um, the notes when I study music and I feel like I don't have connection with every composer or with every music,
Sure.
but with some I have very strong connection to the point that like I feel like I know them and nobody can tell me like how to play once I get there. It's just like I just like that's the way it is, and at least that's the way I hear it, and like and and but what I hear is that these masterpieces, they have so many layers to it. There's some music that sounds beautiful, but does not have many layers.
Yeah.
There's music that does not sound very beautiful, but if you really get into it, there's a certain depth to it. And there's music that has both. And most of the pieces that we call masterpieces, right, are the ones that have both this beauty for the ear and also this inner depth.
Yeah.
That I was always very tuned to this inner depth. So I would listen to someone play or a piece of music, and I was here like, okay, all the notes are there, but like something is missing, and I can't even name what is missing. And because for me, music, what I call music, is this depth. Of course, it's my point of view because like this beauty is as important as the depth, but because I am very tuned into, you know, like this inner layer of it, then I even started telling, I think, and it's that, well, this is music and this is not music. At some point, I was quite judgmental in that, how can you call this music? Now I understand, there are different aspects of it. But when I was younger, I was very kind of anal about what's music and what's not music. And if I couldn't sense this inner depth, I would say, wow, this is not music. This is like fake music. and that would drive some of my teachers crazy.
I bet. Well, I want to touch back on, I wrote down, the music is the vibration, right, that you talked about, the vibration of the soul. And if, if we were to take a moment to get, I understand at a very, very simplistic, basic level about quantum physics and things like string theory, but where everything in the universe is really a vibration, and all our cells are vibrating at a certain, level. And that's, how we make music, on all instruments, there's a vibration of the sound. And so for me, and for, I'm sure many of you watching as well, I often say that music is medicine. Because those vibrations, and we can tune into, and on a very basic level, you can say, oh, when you're listening to happy music, you feel happier, right? Or if you're listening to sad music, at the very basic level. But when you talk about the complexities of the music and those layers, I really see it as a mirror to our experience in our life. So I love that this is where you get into it with your work. I don't know what the question is in there, other than I'm so curious about your thoughts on this as well, and as you use music therapeutically to really transform what's dark, it's just fascinating.
There's this layer of music, and I feel it very much when I play, because sometimes I myself, I play and I play all the right notes, but something is missing. And then it might take me a month to sit on the piece that I already know to actually find what it is that is missing. And it's a very subtle thing. And what I realized that it has to do, actually, in my experience, with breath, with how I breathe. And I play piano, I don't even sing, right? I mean, I'm not a singer. And it's not about the singing kind of breathing, right? But it's a certain depth of breath and a way of using this energy that somehow connects to something. And I think it also has to do, I do make some sounds when I play. And once I get that sound that comes with a certain breathing pattern and vibration inside my body, I can stop making that sound, but still connect to that energy. And I feel like that's when this music gains another dimension. So, and then I started asking myself the question, okay, so for because when I work with clients, I make a distinction, like we always are singing our song through the way we feel, through our state of being, our vibration, what you're tuning into, our thoughts, they create a certain vibrational pattern. And that's a song we're singing all the time. But when we talk about the soul song, in this definition that I'm using, right, is the song of a soul. So it's a song of love, the song that is connected to this frequency of unconditional love, of our role in this life. So there's a certain song that is that soul song. So the people who are attracted to me are looking for the soul song. Somehow they understand that they're looking for the soul song.
Right.
Right. And then, okay, so then how do you get aware of what song are you singing right now, right? So this is this alchemy of the body, right? Like this music, and what pieces of music resonate with how you're feeling. Like become very aware of it, because really, because what I realized was that there's some music that's very deep, very beautiful, and in a way, but it has a lot of sorrow and suffering in it.
Yeah.
And there was time when I mean, I used to love those pieces. I mean, I was really good at them. But then there was times like, okay, I see that my life is mirroring this music. I mean, music mirrors me, or I mirror music.
Yeah.
Well, I just saw this correlation. It's like, and I don't want to suffer anymore.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna go and be happy. And bye-bye music of suffering and sorrow. And then I started feeling, wait, something, I think something was still missing for me. I haven't, there was something, there was some emptiness that I started feeling. So I would come back to that other music and I feel, oh yeah, I love this. Yes, that's what it is. But then I was just like, but I'm still at the same place. My life is again. And it has been quite a long time for me to understand. Like the way I see it now is that, I mean, life, our suffering, our pain, right? Our pain can be very beautiful if we embrace, when we embrace it, accept it, it transforms. Yeah. And that music's always transforming, right? So it's in the way suffering and pain that gets transformed is beautiful. And believe it or not, we can get attached to that beauty as well.
Sure. Yeah, you can get stuck in that too, right? And the comfort, right? Mm-hmm. of that.
And it is beautiful. And I think to a certain extent, our souls want to experience the different colors of it, because there's, I used to love Scriabin. I still love Scriabin. And his piano sonatas, like some of them, white mass, black mass, and all of these things. And it would go into very different, places in the soul. And I would ask myself, okay, everything seems so familiar to me, all these states, even though I'm not sure I want to live through them, bring them to my life, but I feel like I know them so well.
Well, and that is like a universal experience too.
Yes, it is a universal. So I think that there's this beauty in accepting it, living it with awareness, and seeing the beauty in it, because I realized that once I was able to see it not only in music, but embrace it in my life. Because what was before, I could see it in music, but once it came to my life, those states, I would start judging, I would start resisting, I would start going into the victim mode. So I wasn't able to transform it in my life. So what happened is, like we have these transformational experiences with music, but then you go to life and it's kind of cut off from it, even though it's very parallel. And I think that it's a very common what's happening with a lot of us, that we go to the movie, we experience it and it's so beautiful, we go to our life, right, and we are not able to experience it anymore, and that's how we block this energy. So this working with music, but also with life, like see, okay, so how can I just let it go through? How can I enjoy my life as a piece of music? And that embracing, like all this pain, all these emotions in real life, not only by the piano, allowed me to actually make a choice. Okay, I've lived it. And I appreciate it. And thank you. Now I'm choosing something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. That journey is, it's true, into that darkness, and how do we become aware, and how do we accept it, and how do we love it? And it just, the work that you're doing with your clients to move them through that and see, you know, from a different perspective and a different level, how these two things really mirror each other, and how, you know, like you just said, you can make a new choice, and how you move forward. It's just
Yeah. And the funny thing, like we usually want to make a new choice before we appreciate what's here, right? And it cannot be done.
yes.
First, need to be lived through, right? Like the emotions need to pass. Like you need to actually see it, you know, see this kind of finish the experience that you've chose to go through in this life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make a new one. And but like our judgment and resistance just stop it in the middle, and then like this energy that's stuck there, it doesn't let us make this new choice because we still have too much of stuck energy.
Mm-hmm.
And music is a wonderful teacher, right? To see that it's very easy to see, you know, the stuck CD.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the new generation doesn't know CD anymore.
That's true. Yeah. You know, the record player getting stuck. You know, yeah. On repeat. But that's so true. We do. That's a perfect example to show how we can get stuck, and then how that energy and the creative flow gets stuck, and then you can't, you know, where that connection, you disconnect from, you know, that soul song. I just yeah, lots of people are loving it. We have a lot of musicians here today, which I absolutely love. Dr. Tanya is a is a blues musician as well as a healer, and she has a healing with the blues, which is
Wow.
beautiful. So she was really connecting to all the things that you were talking about, yeah, music is the vibration. Um, yes, let's forge. Marty says, let's forge a new path of alchemy for the arts. I love it. Yes, Marty is a creative. She writes, she draws, she paints. She's so many amazing people that we have in our community who really are creative, who really are tapped in to that soul's work. I feel so lucky and grateful to be a part of so many people who are doing this work. Your work is amazing. This conversation we've had has just been so beautiful, and I'm so grateful for you staying up late and talking to me.
Yeah, it's so much fun talking to you and sharing with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brenda, she says, even though I'm not a musician, I love the idea of a soul song. Just even the way you explained that our bodies were really making music, and it's really, you know, our thoughts, our feelings are
Everyone is a musician, really.
Right? We are our own symphony.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, if anybody out there, yeah, exactly, you may be the instrument. Exactly, for sure. Oh, I love this so much. So I do want to make sure that I mention that you have a Facebook group that we can, anybody who's interested in experiencing more of you and this beautiful work that you're doing. I've been a part of your Facebook group for a while now, and you just really hold such a lovely space. It feels really good there. So tell us the name of your Facebook group, and I'll make sure that I get the link down in the comments for everybody.
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group that's musicians and music lovers harmonizing the world. So if you type that into the Facebook search engine, that should come up. And well, you know, I'm quite creative person, and I am not very systematic all the time, not like Renee. She's creative, but she can be systematic. I try. No, I'm just kidding. But like the way the group works is that it's usually I have twice a year that I'm quite active in it. So that would be the time of 2 months. And then I take 4 months of less activity when I am immersed into a deeper journey with clients, selected clients. And then there's another 2 months when I am creating space and giving lots of activities for the whole group. And then I'm again going into the 4 months because I'm an introvert. So I'm kind of,
Yeah. You need that
I
space.
need
Well,
that time.
I think we can meet somewhere in the middle. Well, even though I'm here every
Yeah.
Tuesday for almost coming up on 9 months here,
Yeah.
hopefully a lesson learned in valuing
But
the.
that being said, I just wanted to say that the 2 months when I'm active in the group is coming starting April. So
Hey,
please.
she's in there now while she's here, and it's
So please join because I will be having a few workshops. One of the things that I've been giving since the last 4 years, actually I started the first time 4 years ago, was a workshop called The Journey Home. Because I've been looking for my home all my life.
Oh, Thuy, we are one and the same because my program is called Write Your Way Home. So I'm
Oh, wow.
using the creative process of writing, where are you using the creative process of music, and we're helping our people find their way
Wow. Home, the journey home, find a way home. Exactly. That's like something that has been so dear to my heart. Like, what is this home?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's going to be it. Yeah, so I don't have writing. So for writing, Renee is the expert. In the workshop that I give, usually it's working with music and photography. So I'm sure I will be giving that workshop as a free workshop very soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, and yes, so that's coming. I don't know when yet, but sometimes in April or May.
Yeah.
And it will be announced in the group. Yeah. And I also have like something I think it's quite interesting. It has to do with this starter thing that I talk about music, that there's this starter, and I was trying to find, to kind of distill, like without this beauty, what is this depth that I was looking for? So I've created this program. I mean, it's not a long program. This is just a package of 3 sessions, and it's the soul song DNA activation.
Ooh.
And it's actually very interesting, as it takes between 1 week or a month. Like if there are 3 sessions, like we can do it like in 1 week. Or in a span of a month. It depends like on how it works the best for you. So we talk about it. But what it does is that through sound, it's the sound healing together with music therapy combined, and some work with like the mind and astrology. And it helps to, because like another thing, because I was looking for home, so I find out that okay, my home is probably somewhere there, like, so I was just like, okay, so how to bring that here? Okay, so how to bring that here? So this like soul body fusion has been for me a huge thing. So this is soul body fusion through sound. So it activates your DNA through sound, and we activated in this during this 3 first sessions. But then the process goes for 9 months. So later, for the next 9 months, you actually will be seeing how this activation has been impacting your life. So if you're interested in it, then also you can let me know.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so cool. You said soul body fusion, and my body was just like, yes, let's do that. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been wonderful. I so appreciate you being here today with us, and all of you out there in Midwest Elevation who have joined us live. We're so excited to have you. And if you are watching the replay, let us know. Let us know what's touched your heart today and what you're doing to impact the world through your own inner transformation. We will be back next Tuesday with another conversation with my dear friend Jay. We will be talking about staying radical Very cool stuff ahead. So make sure you catch that. Again, we are here every Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time now, since our clocks changed. And we will see you again. Thank you so much